Attention coaches and swimmers, attention coaches and swimmers. Warm up in the competition pool is now closed. Warm up in the competition pool is now closed. Swimmers, please clear the pool. Grab your gear and apparel for an on-time start.
Hello. It's poppin'. Okay. Yeah, poppin'. I gotta ask him. 'Cause if I don't, I don't know. Let's go. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? My lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss be poppin'. I'm standing at my locker and all the boys keep stopping. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? My lip gloss is poppin'. My lip gloss is cool. All the boys keep jocking. They chase me at the school. L'Oreal, yep, 'cause I'm worth it. The way I put it on so perfect. Wipe the corners of my mouth so I work it. When I walk down the hallway, they can't say nothing. Oh, my lips so luscious. The way I spice it up with the Mac brushes. L'Oreal got them watermelon crushes. That's probably the reason all these boys got crushes. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? My lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss be poppin'. I'm standing at my locker and all the boys keep stopping. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? My lip gloss is poppin'. My lip gloss is cool. All the boys keep jocking. They chase me at the school. When it's time for lunch, my lips still rock. Little mama melon with the hot pink top. Cherry, vanilla, flavors is a virtue. They loving lip gloss universal. The boys really like it. The girls don't speak. Rolling their eyes, they lip gloss cheap. It ain't my fault, but I could upgrade. Just show you how to use nice things with nice flavors. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? My lip gloss is cool. My lip gloss be poppin'. I'm standing at my locker and all the boys keep stopping. What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know about me? What you know? My lip gloss is poppin'. My lip gloss is cool. All the boys keep jocking. They chase me at the school. 'Cause my
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family, race fans, welcome back to night 2 of finals of the 46th annual Edmonton Keyano International. Before we get started, I want to announce all coaches, we need names for relays tonight by 6:30. All coaches, get your relay names to the clerk of course by 6:30. Now, before we get started, we acknowledge the traditional land on which we gather is in Treaty 6 territory and within Métis homeland and Métis Nation of Alberta Region 4. We acknowledge this land as traditional territories, meeting grounds, gathering place, and traveling route of many First Nations such as the Métis, Cree, Dene, Nakota Sioux, and Blackfoot. We thank these Indigenous peoples as we strive to make this a welcoming place for all peoples who come from around the world to share Edmonton as their home. Now, if everyone would turn their attention to the awards podium, we have some special, amazing awards to announce.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, welcome to EKI Day 2 Finals. We've got a lot of awards to present. We're going to start with the Cleanest Team Award today. So the Cleanest Team Award for tonight goes to the Airdrie Phoenix Swim Club. Well done, Airdrie. They're at the very end of the pool, and they've kept their area spotless. So we have a new and improved trophy. It's going to get better every day, and we've got a grab bag for them from the city of Edmonton. So thanks very much. I see them running up here. As they come up to get their award, I'm going to just move on to the next recognitions. we would like to recognize a couple of awards that were awarded previously in June to two very special people in our sport. The Alberta Sports Council awarded the coach recognition for 2024 to Alex Dawson. So give it up for Alex for coach recognitions from the Alberta Sports Council. All right, next we have our 13 and under swim of the day from yesterday. So for female, and I hope she's here. Where's our Killarney swimmers? We have Sophia Shapak. Sophia, come on up. 13 and under swim of the day yesterday. She swam, she got world aquatic points of 611. Well done. You can go pick from our Speedo prize table over there. Thanks, Sophia. And for the boys 13 and under, we have Maseo Mori. Come on up, Maseo. 519 world aquatic points. And you can get your Speedo prize pack over at the table. Thanks, Maseo. Well done, guys. Okay, and now for the Curry Cup Awards. So Ollie Curry was a longtime volunteer for the Keyano Swim Club and for the sport of swimming. And we have honored her by having a Curry Cup Award. So fastest swim of the meet, male and female, each day. So fastest swim of the day. She loved nothing more than seeing swimmers swim fast, achieve their goals, and have a blast in the pool. So today we are going to award the female swim of the meet to Melina Kosick. Come on up. Thanks very much. Stay on up here for a minute. And for men, we have Aiden Norman. 768 world aquatic points. We're gonna get the big trophy here and take a picture of you guys. Thanks very much. Aiden also won, by the way, the Alberta Sports Council Junior Male Athlete of the Year for 2024. So give it up for Aiden as well for that. All right, thank you guys very much. Let's see some more fast swimming tonight. I'll hand it over to Mr. Referee. Oh, I'm being told to keep talking. Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. How did I forget? You guys, I can't believe I forgot this. Sorry, Amy. We want to sing O Canada. So everybody please stand and listen to the beautiful voice of my friend Amy.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Mon histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Protégera nos foyers et nos droits. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you very much.
All right, up first is event 201, the girls 100 meter freestyle, heat 1, 12 and under women's A final. Madam Referee. And they're off heat 1 in lane 0, Lily Dean from Cascade Swimming, and lane 1, Ellie Maran from Cascade Swimming. In lane 2, Lucy Van Koolen from Parkland Pirates. In lane 3, Hayden Meadus from Cascade. In lane 4, Jean Lynn from Richmond Rapids. In lane 5, Tia Campbell from Cascade. In lane 6, Olivia Lienenberger from Marlin. In lane 7, Gemma Pinsett from Fort McMurray. In lane 8, Tatiana Cockwell from Olympian Swimming. In lane 9, Elsa Bendixson from Cascade Swimming. With about 15 meters to go, it looks like it's Jean Lynn leading the pack, followed by a pair of Cascade swimmers. Final 5 meters, and it is going to be Jean Lynn touching first, followed by Taya Campbell and Olivia Lienberger. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2, 13-year-old women, A finals. Mr. Referee. In the water is Heat 2, the women's 13-year-old A finals. In lane 0 is Riley Ginther with Law Swimming. In lane 1, Megan Perry with Killarney. In lane 2, Kate Machekik with Law Swimming. In lane 3, Alexis Yuan with University of Calgary. In lane 4, Aislinn Burris with Strathcona. In lane 5, Sophie Holloway-Chuck with Killarney. In lane 6, Liz Brinskia with Cascade Swimming. In lane 7, Ruthie Yeshkoviak with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 8, Mackenzie Tonkin with Cascade. In lane 9, Savory Kowal with Edmonton Keyano. Final 10 meters, it looks like it's Law Swimming leading the pack at lane 2. That's Kate Machekik. And it is Machekik touching first, followed by Alexis Yuan, and then touching third is Aislinn Burris. All swimmers are reminded to get their awards from the awards table as soon as possible. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3. This is 14-year-old women's A final. Mr. Referee. In the waters, Heat 3, your 14-year-old A finals. In lane 0, Sophie Zhao. In lane 1, Demi Wilson. In lane 2, Lena Slee. In lane 3, Tanya Bakshi. In lane 4, Megan Sutherland. In lane 5, Anna Curley. In lane 6, Evelyn Washbrook. In lane 7, Mia Kehoe. In lane 8, Sophia Bullock. In lane 9, Nicole LaRue. Last meters, it is lane 4 leading the pack. And it is going to be Megan Sutherland with Killarney swimming, followed by Anna Curley. And touching third is Mia Kehoe. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 4. This is your women's 15-year-old A finals. Mr. Referee. And the water is Heat 4. This is your women's 15-year-old A finals. In lane 0, Lila Thiessen with Cascade. In lane 1, Sophia Hegmeyer Martinez with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 2, from Cascade Swimming, Hunter Page. In lane 3, Paige Slavich from Cascade Swimming. In lane 4, Taylor Ginther from Lethbridge. In lane 5, from Cascade Swimming, Anna Harper. In lane 6, Kyra Nagy from Cascade Swimming. In lane 7, Katrina Gibbs from University of Calgary. In lane 8, Abby Campbell from Edmonton Keyano. In lane 9, Jolie Kwan from Cascade Swimming. And it looks like it's going to be lane 4. Taylor Ginther will touch first, followed by Anna Harper, and then Hunter Page. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 5, the women's 16 and over A finals. This is one of 2 finals. Mr. Referee. This is Heat 5, the 16 and over A final. This in lane 0 is Sarah Vischer with Olympian Swimming. In lane 1 is Jenna McDougall with Cascade. In lane 2 is Madeline Connell with Cascade. In lane 3 is Sasha Rogers with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Milena Kosick with University of Calgary. In lane 5 is Peyton Kelly with Cascade. In lane 6 is Naomi Slee with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 7 is Carolina Cruz with Cascade. In lane 8 is Maria Kosick with University of Calgary. And in lane 9, Gabriella Schenk with Edmonton Keyano. Final 10 meters, as it looks like it's going to be lane 5, Peyton Kelly leading the pack. Kelly will touch first, followed by Milena Kosick, and then touching third is Sasha Rogers. The results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 6. This is the women's 16 and over B final. Mr. Referee. In the waters at B final, the women's 100-meter freestyle. In lane 0 is Sophie Smith, University of Calgary. In lane 1 is Sophia Musselman, Olympian swimming. In lane 2 is Sophia Meller, University of Calgary. In lane 3 is Asia Dunham with Airdrie Phoenix. In lane 4 is Grace Hitchcock with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 5 is Rosie Hussaman with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Lauren Meller, University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Christine Zhao with University of Calgary. In lane 8 is Lydia Zilke with Cascade Swimming. In lane 9, Kia Craig with University of Calgary. Looks like lane 2's leading the pack. And it is going to be lane 2. That's Sophia Meller with University of Calgary touching first, followed by Lauren Meller. And touching third is Grace Hitchcock with Red Deer Catalina. Results on the board are official. Up next is event 202, the men's 100-meter freestyle. Up first is Heat 1, the 12 and under men A final. Madam Referee. In the water is the A final for the 12 and under 100-meter freestyle. In lane 0 is Jackson Nickel from Grand Prairie. In lane 1 is Oliver Reddle from Triton. In lane 2 is George Bice from Grand Cache. In lane 3 is Benjamin Chen from Ridge Meadow. In lane 4 is Zan Zhang from University of Calgary. In lane 5 is James Dennison from Cascade. In lane 6 is Alvin Moe from University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Jackson Monson from Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 8 is Jack Rudolph from Richmond Rapids. And in lane 9 is Dongping Zhang from Edmonton Keyano. Last 15 meters to go is lane 4 with Zan Zhang from University of Calgary leading the pack. He's followed by Cascade out of lane 5. It is going to be Zan Zhang touching first, followed by lane 5's James Dennison. Touching third is Benjamin Chen. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2. This is your men's 13-year-old A final. Madam Referee. This is their 13-year-old A final 100-meter freestyle. In lane 0 is Hudson Wang from University of Calgary. In lane 1 is Gage Anderson with Strathcona County. In lane 2 is Yassine Ekhuli with Cascade Swimming. In lane 3 is Ryan Amadou from Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Masao Mori with Alberta Marlins. In lane 5 is Maddox Woodruff with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 6 is Brody Dobson with Lloyd Mincer Riptides. In lane 7 is Lincoln Jarvis with Ridge Meadow. In lane 8 is Vova Turkin. Lane 9 is Carson Jost with Edmonton Keyano. Leading the pack is lane 4's Masao Mori with Alberta Marlin. He will touch first, followed by Maddox Woodruff, and touching third is Brody Dobson. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3. This is the men's 14-year-old A final. Madam Referee. In the waters, the A final, 14-year-old men's 100-meter freestyle. In lane 0 is Oliver Zadrozny with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 1 is Emmett Kingston with Olympian Swimming. In lane 2 is Matthew Tenev with Fort McMurray. In lane 3 is Bruce Rubin with Parkland Pirates. In lane 4 is Miles Dennison with Cascade. In lane 5 is Matthew Dobson. In lane 6 is Michael Wu with Olympian Swimming. In lane 7 is Seth Hitchcock with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 8 is Ben Baller with Red Deer Catalina. And in lane 9 is JJ Coop with Lethbridge Swim Club. It's going to be a tight finish with less than 5 meters to go. And touching first is Matthew Dobson, followed by Miles Dennison. Touching third is a Bruce Rubin. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 4, your men's 15-year-old A finals. Madam Referee. Attention coaches, we have disqualification to announce in event 202, heat 2, lane 0. Event 202, heat 2, lane 0. In the waters, heat 4, the men's 15-year-old A finals. In lane 0, Ryan Falk. In lane 1, Jaden Timbrink. In lane 2, Chris Zhang. In lane 3, Logan Post. In lane 4, Alex Lim. In lane 5, Dennis Gutanu. In lane 6, Miguel Lorenzo. In lane 7, Gabriel Dale. In lane 8, Kane McWilliams. In lane 9, Seong Kim. With about 15 meters to go, it looks like it's lane 4, Alex Lim from Olympian Swim Club. And it is going to be Alex Lim with Olympian Swim Club, followed by Miguel Lorenzo from University of Calgary. And touching third is Dennis Gutanu from Edmonton Keyano. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 5, the 16 and over A final. Madam Referee. In the waters, Heat 5. This is Heat 1 of 2 for the men's 16 and over A final. In lane 0 is Parks Tweedle from Red Deer, Catalina. In lane 1 is Daniel Alexander from Lethbridge Swimming. In lane 2 is Parker Deshay from Cascade. In lane 3 is Kevin Kong from University of Calgary. In lane 4 is Jack Cahill from Edmonton, Keyano. In lane 5 is Broden Kelly from Cascade. In lane 6 is Spencer McFarland from University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Zach Bowie from Edmonton, Keyano. In lane 8 is Casey McDermott from Cascade. And in lane 9 is Henrico Jordan from Grand Prairie Piranhas. Looks like a tight finish between lanes 5 and 3 and possibly 2. And it's going to be lane 2, Parker Deshay, followed by Broden Kelly. And touching third is Kevin Kong. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2 of 2. This is Heat 6 of the men's 16 and over 100-meter freestyle B final. Madam Referee. In lane 0 is Mason Hickman from Red Deer, Catalina. In lane 1 is Ryan Zong from Cascade Swimming. In lane 2 is Joe Dong from University of Calgary. In lane 3 is Jacob Hodel from Red Deer, Catalina. In lane 4 is Jonas Smith from Cascade. In lane 5 is Ricardo Para Hernandez from Cascade. In lane 6 is Jordan Chen. In lane 7 is Jeffrey Chung from University of Calgary. In lane 8 is Daniel Zhang from University of Calgary. And in lane 9 is Soren Young from Killarney Swim Club. Less than 10 meters to go. It is lane 4 leading the pack. And that's Jonas Smith, who is going to touch first from Cascade Swimming, followed by Ricardo Para Hernandez. And touching third is Jordan Chen. Results on the board are official. Up next is event 202P, the men's 16 and over 100-meter freestyle multi-class. Madam Referee. All right, this is event 202P. This is the men's 16 and over 100-meter freestyle multi-class. In lane 4 is Reed Maxwell with Edmonton Keyano. And lane 5 is Hunter Helberg with Fort McMurray. All right, about 10 meters to go. It's Reed Maxwell leading out of lane 4. Reed Maxwell will touch first, followed by Hunter Helberg. The times on the board are official, but final standing will be determined by para points. Up next is event 203, the women's 200-meter breaststroke, Heat 1, 12 and under A final. Mr. Referee. In the waters, Heat 1, the 12 and under women's 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 0 is Amy Yao from Cascade Swimming. In lane 1 is Jane Kaziski from Strathcona County. In lane 2 is Catherine Wu from Olympian Swimming. In lane 3 is Hannah Shea from University of Calgary. In lane 4 is Sophia Schpack from Killarney Swimming. In lane 5 is Lucy Gia from Richmond Rapids. In lane 6 is Gemma Pinsent from Fort McMurray. In lane 7 is Lucy Van Koolen from Parkland Pirates. In lane 8 is Mira Dill from Triton Swimming. In lane 9 is Brooklyn Arbuckle from Strathcona County. At the halfway mark, touching first is Killarney's Sophia Schpack. She's followed by Lucy Gia. And followed by Hannah Cash. Less than 15 meters to go. It is going to be lane 4. And that's Killarney Swimming's Sophia Schpack touching first. She's going to be followed by lane 5's Lucy Gia from Richmond Rapids. And then Hannah Shea touching with the University of Calgary. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2. This is the women's 13-year-old A finals. Mr. Referee. In the waters heat 2, this is your women's 13-year-old A finals. In lane 1 is Mia DiGeldine with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 1 is Elsa Aguilar from Ridge Meadow Swim Club. In lane 2 is Sasha Chen from the Sea Lions. In lane 3 is Layla Sayar from Cascade Swimming. In lane 4 is Samantha Thistle from Killarney Swimming. In lane 5 is Liz Briskaya from Cascade Swimming. In lane 6 is Alicia Littleton from Fort McMurray. In lane 7 is Claire Pervez from Olympian Swimming. In lane 8 is Tejawi Pamidi from Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 9 is June Robinson from Grand Prairie Piranhas. Touching first to be Leia Sayer with Cascade Swimming, followed by her teammate in lane 5, Liz Brianskia. And then in touching the halfway mark in third is Samantha Thistle. All right, about 10 meters left to go. It is Lynn Brinskia leading the pack, followed in lane 4 by Samantha Thistle. And it is going to be Brinskia touching first, followed by Thistle. And then Layla Sarah. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3. This is the women's 14-year-old A final. Mr. Referee. All right, this is your women's 14-year-old A final, 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 0 is Lauren LaPrairie from Edmonton, Keyano. In lane 1 is Lauren Gainsborough with Alberta Marlins. In lane 2 is Theodora Holloway, University of Calgary. In lane 3 is Anna Curley with Strathcona. Lane 4 is Elise Cook with Edmonton, Keyano. In lane 5 is Grace Kiprick with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Ava Phillips with Airdrie Phoenix Swim Club. In lane 7 is Kylie Truk with Edmonton, Keyano. In lane 8 is George DeCosta, University of Calgary. And in lane 9 is Maya Scanterbury with Parkland Pirates. At the halfway mark, it's going to be Elise Cook with Edmonton Keyano leading the field, followed by Grace Kiprick with University of Calgary, and then touching third is Ava Phillips with Airdrie Phoenix. All right, it's less than 15 meters to go for Elise Cook with Edmonton Keyano. She's still being followed by lane 5's Grace Kiprick and lane 6, Ava Phillips. It is Elise Cook touching in a time of 2:42.34. Followed by lane 6's Ava Phillips and then lane 5's Grace Kiprick. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 4. This is the women's 15-year-old A final. Mr. Referee. In the water is the A final for the 15-year-old 200-meter breaststroke. In lane 2 is Rory Gelderman with Strathcona. In lane 3 is Isabel Homaniuk with Richmond Rapids. In lane 4 is Kieran Nagy with Cascade. In lane 5 is Anna Penny with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 6 is Milana Polukarova with Cascade Swimming. In lane 7 is Eva Carmen with Airdrie Phoenix Swim Club. At the halfway mark, touching first is Anna Penny with Edmonton Keyano. She's followed by Milana Pukulrova And then touching third is Rory Gelderman out of lane 2. And less than 15 meters ago, looks like Anna Penny from Edmonton Keyano has opened up a gap. It's still a tight race for second and third. And it is going to be Anna Penny from Edmonton Keyano touching first, followed by Isabel Homniuk. And then touching third is Kieran Nagy. The results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 5. This is the women's 16 and over A final. Mr. Referee. In the water is Heat 5. This is the women's 16 and over A final. In lane 0 from Alberta Martins, it's Morgan Hobson. In lane 1 is Sophie Smith from University of Calgary. In lane 2 is Rowan Bifford from Alberta Marlins. In lane 3 is Elaine Wang from University of Calgary. In lane 4 is Jordan Greber from University of Calgary. In lane 5 is Lane Burbeck from Olympian Swimming. In lane 6 is Justy Carlson from Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 7 is Maya Komakov from Cascade Swimming. In lane 8 is Emily Bugby from University of Calgary. And in lane 9 is Peyton Tucker from Parkland Pirates. At the halfway mark, it's still a tight race. Touching first will be Lane Bibrick, followed by Jesse Carlson, and then third at the turn is Jordan Greber. Less than 40 meters to go. It's still a tight race for the first through third. Looks like Jordan Greber in lane 4 is opening up a lead, but still a fight for second, third, fourth. And it is going to be Jordan Grabber, University of Calgary, touching first, followed by Lane Burbeck. And touching third is Jesse Carlson. Results on the board are official. Up next is event 204, the men's 200-meter breaststroke. Heat 1, this is a 12 and under men's A final. Madam Referee. In the water is Heat 1. This is the men's 12 and under A final. In lane 0 with Edmonton Keyano is Adam Lawal. In lane 1, Zenon Edriak with Olympian Swimming. In lane 2, Johnny Carlson for Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 3, Leo Wang with Olympian Swimming. In lane 4, Edward Zhang with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 5, James Dennison with Cascade Swimming. In lane 6, Ibrahim Chabini with Cascade Swimming. In lane 7, Braden Vanderkirk with Triton Swimming. In lane 8, Kel Hegdas with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 9, Grayson King with Edmonton Keyano. At the halfway mark, Edmonton Keyano's Edward Zhang has opened up a few body lengths on the pack. He's followed by Leo Wang with Olympian Swimming. And then at the turn, it's James Dennison touching third with Cascade Swimming. Less than 15 meters left to go for Edward Zhang. That is first for Edward Zhang, taking a few seconds off from this morning's prelims. Still a tight race for second. It's going to be Leo Wang with Olympian Swimming, followed by James Dennison with Cascade Swimming. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2, the men's 13-year-old A finals. Madam Referee. In the water is Heat 2. This is your men's 13-year-old A finals. In lane 0 is Casper Zadrowsny with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 1 is Ellie Hoover Lacasse with Cascade. In lane 2 is Ethan Dawson with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 3 is Kate Morgan with Killarney Swimming. In lane 4 is Bennett Thiessen with Cascade Swimming. In lane 5 is Samuel Leyland with Olympian Swimming. In lane 6 is Ben Jermko with Edmund Keyano. In lane 7 is Ethan Nevet with University of Calgary. In lane 8 is Brendan Lau with Richmond Rapids. In lane 9 is Anthony Mailwatt with Ridge Meadows. Coming to the halfway mark, it is going to be Bennett Thiessen with a sizable lead. He's being followed by Tag Pack for fighting for second and third. Touching for second at the halfway mark is Samuel Leland. Followed by Cade Morgan. And it's going to be Bennett Thiessen taking off about 3 seconds from this morning's entry. That's Bennett Thiessen with Cascade Swimming touching first. He's going to be followed by lane 5's Samuel Leland with Olympian Swimming touching second. And then in lane 3, it's going to be Cade Morgan with Killarney Swimming. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3. This is the 14-year-old men's A final. Madam Referee. In the waters, Heat 3, this is your men's 14-year-old A finals. In lane 0 is Aiden Grunitsky with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 1 is Bruce Werbin with Parkland Pirates. In lane 2 is Osmudimian Ogbride with Summer All-Stars. In lane 3 is Emmett Kingston with Olympian Swimming. In lane 4 is Parker Nelson with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 5 is Liam Peters with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 6 is Lucas Cato with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 7 is Max Ruan with Red Deer Catalina. And in lane 8 is Michael Zasteko with Airdrie Phoenix Swim Club. And touching first at the halfway mark, it is going to be Ogbede. He's going to be followed by Parker Nelson and Lucas Cato. Tie race, but it's going to be Liam Peters, followed by Parker Nelson from Edmonton Keyano. And touching third is Osamutiemen Ogbede with Summer All-Stars. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 4. This is the men's 15-year-old A final. Madam Referee. In the waters, Heat 4, this is your men's A final, 15-year-old A final. In lane 0 is Daniel Nazarov with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 1 is Aaron Friesen with Lethbridge. In lane 2 is Alex Slim with Olympian Swim Club. In lane 3 is Nathan Zong with Cascade Swimming. In lane 4 is Jason Zinn with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 5 is Benson Miles with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Caleb Wolford with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 7 is Ryan Falk with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 8 is Brody Meadus with Cascade Swimming. And in lane 9 is Yikai Yang with University of Calgary. And touching first, it's going to be Nathan Zong, followed by Jason Zinn, followed by Caleb Wolford. Last 15 meters for Jason's in with Edmonton Keyano, but it's still a tight race for second and third. Touching first is Jason's in with Edmonton Keyano, followed by lane 5, Benson Miles with the University of Calgary, and then Cascades Nathan Zong out of lane 3. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 5. This is the men's 16 and over A final. Madam Referee. All right, this is Heat 5, the men's 16 and over A final. In lane 0 is Bevan Bagshaw with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 1 is Justin Cole with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 2 is Benjamin Weir with Cascade Swimming. In lane 3 is Truman Vincent with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Soren Young with Killarney Swimming. In lane 5 is Aiden Norman with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Yanni Milas with University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Jackson Kwan with Cascade Swimming. In lane 8 is Ben Forbes with Edmonton Keyano. And in lane 9, Joshua Liu with Edmonton Keyano. And at the 100-meter mark, halfway through this race, it looks like it's going to be Yanni Milanas with University of Calgary touching first. He's being followed by Soren Young and then Aiden Norman. All right, things are tightening up at the middle pool. About 40 meters left. Looks like it's lanes 5. Aiden Norman leading the pack, followed by Soren Young. About 20 meters ago. Looks like Truman Vincent's making a move. And it is going to be Aiden Norman out of lane 5. Followed by Soren Young and then Vincent Truman. Or correction, Truman Vincent finished second. Results on the board are official. Up next, event 205, the women's 400-meter individual medley. Up first is Heat 1. This is the women's 13 and under A final. Mr. Referee. All right, in the water is Heat 1. This is the women's 13 and under 400-meter individual medley. In lane 1 is Hannah Say with the University of Calgary. In lane 2 is Taylor Bidia with Olympian Swim Club. In lane 3 is Britica Davis with Strathcona County. In lane 4 is Alexis Yon with University of Calgary. In lane 5 is Alex Ginther. In lane 6 is Alice Zhang with the University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Samantha Thistle with Killarney Swimming. In lane 8 is Malia Bakawi with Edmonton Keyano. All right, after 100 meters of butterfly, looks like it's gonna be Alex Yon showing her butterfly strength. Transitioning into the backstroke, she's followed by Alex Ginther and then Alice Zhang. Halfway through, it's still Alexis Yon, followed by Alice Zhang and Britica Davis. Attention all coaches, we need the relay names for tonight's relays to the Clurka course in the next 20 minutes. 6:30, we need all names for the relay at the Clurka course. Coaches, get your names to the Clurka course for relays tonight. All right, about 100 meters to go, and it's still Alexis Yon leading the pack from University of Calgary. She's being followed by her teammate Alice Zhang in lane 6. Touching third with 100 meters to go is going to be Alex Ginther. All right, about 15 meters left for Alexis Yan. She grabbed the lead from the beginning, and she's been holding it ever since. It is Alexis Yan touching first at a time of 5:18. A huge drop from this morning. Touching second is her teammate, Alice Zhang, a time of 5:30. Another big drop from this morning. And touching third is Alex Ginther in lane 5. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2. This is the women's 14-15 A final. Mr. Referee. All right, in the water is Heat 2. This is the women's 14-15 A final. And lane 0 is Katie Bailey with Strathcona. And lane 1 is at Britton Talbot, the Grand Prairie Piranhas. And lane 2 is Amaya Harrington with the University of Calgary. And lane 3 is Gloria Jeffries, Strathcona. And lane 4 is Edmonton Keyano's Lena Slee. And lane 5 is Carmen Duffy, Strathcona. And lane 6 is Sophia Bullock with the University of Calgary. And lane 7 is Maya Monson with Grand Prairie Piranhas. And lane 8 is Jensen Wagel with Grand Prairie Piranhas. And lane 9, Lily McWilliams with Alberta Marlins. Touching first at the 100-meter mark is going to be Maya Monson, followed by Britton Talbot. All right, touching first was Maya Harrington with the University of Calgary, followed by Lena Slee, Edmonton Keyano. And then Maya Monson. With about 100 meters left to go, looks like Lena Slee from Edmonton Keyano has moved into first, but it's still a tight race. To lane 5, where she's being followed by Carmen Duffy. And still in lane 1 is Britton Talbot, touching third at the 3/4 mark. And it is Lena Slee leading coming down this home stretch, leading the pack. She's followed by lane 5, Carmen Duffy. And lane 1, Britton Talbot. Oh, looks like lane 3 is charging. That's Gloria Jeffries. It is going to be Lena Slee with Edmonton Keyano, followed by Carmen Duffy. And then touching third is Gloria Jeffries. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3. This is your women's A final, 16 and over, 400 meter individual medley. Mr. Referee. All right, in the water is the final women's 16 and over 400 meter individual medley. In lane 2 is Sophia Dill with Triton Swimming. In lane 3 is Haley Beeler with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Eliana Phillips with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 5 is Danica Googlis with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 6 is Brooke Russell with University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Carolina Cruz with Cascade Swimming. After about 100 meters of butterfly, it's going to be Eliana Phillips that touched first at the wall, leading into the backstroke. She's followed by lane 3, Haley Beeler. And then Danica Googlis with Edmonton Keyano. All right, about 200 meters down, backstroke down, and it's still Eliana Phillips from Edmonton Keyano holding a lead. Her teammates are going to touch in the second and the third at the 200 meter mark, and that's Haley Beeler and Danica Googlis. Attention coaches, we have disqualification to announce in event 205. Heat 2, lane 9. Event 205, Heat 2, lane 9. 100 meters ago, it's still gonna be Eliana Phillips with Edmonton Keyano leading the pack, followed by her two teammates. Touching closely for second and third, that's Haley Beeler and Danica Googlis. All right, less than 10 meters to go. And it is going to be Eliana Phillips touching a time of 4:58. About 15 seconds faster this morning. She's going to be followed up by her teammate Danica Googlis with Edmonton Keyano, and then Haley Beeler. Results on the board are official. Up next is event 206, the men's 400-meter individual medley relay. Up first is Heat 1, the men's 13 and under A final. Madam Referee.
Down with the victim. We both know you need them. You're stuck in the middle of all irrelevance. Your heart is beating, 'cause you know that you gotta.
All right, in the water is the A final for the 13 and under men's 400-meter individual medley relay. In lane 2 is Lincoln Jarvis from Ridge Meadow. In lane 3 is Ethan Nevat from University of Calgary. In lane 4 is Sal Mori from Alberta Marlins. In lane 5 is Edward Zhang from Edmonton, Keyano. In lane 6 is Joshua Bodet from Olympian Swimming. In lane 7 is Dongping Zhang from Edmonton, Keyano. With 100 meters down, it's going to be Masao Mori from Alberta Marlins leading the plaque. He's followed by Edmonton Keyano's Ethan Nevat. Correction, that's University of Calgary's Ethan Nevat.
You can't fight the friction.
Attention coaches, if you have not got your names in for the relay, you're late. Names are past due at the clerk of course. Get your names in for your relay teams to the clerk of course immediately. All right, 200 meters down, 200 meters to go, and it's Masao Mori leading the pack. He's followed by Joshua Baudet in lane 6, and then Edward Zhang in lane 5. All right, 100 meters to go, and it's going to be Masao Mori touching first at the wall. He's followed closely by lane 6's Joshua Baudet and lane 5's Edward Zhang. And it's going to be Masao Mori from Alberta Marlins touching first with a huge drop from this morning for about 5 seconds. He's followed by Joshua Baudet from Olympian Swimming. And another huge drop from this morning. And then followed by Edward Zhang from Edmonton, Keyano, with a 3-second drop from this morning. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2. This is the 14 to 15 men's A final. Madam Referee. All right, the water is Heat 2. This is the 14-15 men's A final. In lane 0 is Chase Zhang, University of Calgary. In lane 1 is Francesvik Jasinski with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 2 is Daniel Worster with Cascade Swimming. In lane 3 is Marco Slavkovsky with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Jake Ferry with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 5 is Gabriel Dale with Cascade Swimming. In lane 6 is Justin Chen with University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Jonathan Renoy with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 8 is Jacob Nickel with Grand Prairie Piranhas. And in lane 9 is Seth Hitchcock with Red Deer Catalina. Touching first is Jake Ferry after the first 100 meters. He's followed by Jacob Nickel and then Justin Chen. All right, 200 meters down, 200 meters to go. It's going to be Jake Ferry with Edmonton Keyano leading the pack, followed by lane 2's Daniel Vorster with Cascade Swimming, followed by lane 6's Justin Chen with the University of Calgary. right, still Jake Ferry leading the pack, but in position 2 and 3, we do have a shakeup, it looks like. Touching second, it's going to be lane 6's Justin Chen. Touching third is Marco Slavowski out of Edmonton, Keyano. Final 100 meters. All right, final 50 meters. Looks like Jake Ferry has this race wrapped up, but it's still a tight race for second and third. .25 meters for Edmonton Keyano's Jake Ferry. There's a battle between lane 6 from University of Calgary and lane 3's Edmonton Keyano. Cascade Swimming out of lane 2 is still in the fight. It is going to be Jake Ferry in a time of 4:56.9. Which is about a half second faster than this morning. Touching second is going to be Marco Slavowski with Edmonton Keyano. About an 11-second improvement from this morning. And then touching third is Daniel Vorster. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3. This is the 16 and over A final. Madam Referee. All right, the water is the A final, 16 and over. Men's 400 meter individual medley. In lane 2 is Jeffrey Chung with University of Calgary. In lane 3 is Maddox Oliver for Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Kingston Hitchcock with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 5 is Casey McDermott with Cascade Swimming. In lane 6 is Tucker Bueller with Olympian Swim Club. In lane 7 is Owen O'Kelly with Edmonton Keyano. About 200 meters down and 200 meters to go. It's lane 5. Cascade Swimming's Casey McDermott leading the pack, followed by Red Deer Catalina Kingston Hitchcock. Looks like Maddox Oliver is moved into second. Looks like a surge coming from Maddox Oliver and Kingston Hitchcock. It's a tight race for first, second, and third. With 100 meters to go, the first to touch will be Kingston Hitchcock, followed by Casey McDermott and then Maddox Oliver. It is still tight. The lead is changing. It's now Casey McDermott, followed by Kingston Hitchcock, then Maddox Oliver, who has the final 50 meters. It looks like it's to be Casey McDermott touching first in a time of 4:44, dropping about 3 seconds this morning, followed by Kingston Hitchcock with Red Deer Catalina, a time of 4:45, dropping about 2 seconds, and then Maddox Oliver, Edmonton Keyano, 4:47. They're dropping about 8 seconds. The results on the board are official. Up next is event 207, the women's 100 meter butterfly. Heat 1, the 12 and under A finals. Mr. Referee. All right, this is the A final for the 12 and under 100 meter butterfly. In lane 0 is McKenna Rue with Olympian swimming. In lane 1 is Riley Can with Triton. In lane 2 is Lily Dean with Cascade. In lane 3 is Taylor Biddy with Olympians. In lane 4 is Taya Campbell with Cascade. In lane 5 is Isabel Short with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Ivy McGuire with Olympian swimming. In lane 7 is Maria Habak with University of Calgary. In lane 8 is Penelope Holloway with University of Calgary. In lane 9 is Maggie Sleds with Edmonton Keyano. Final 10 meters, it looks like it's going to be Taya Campbell with Cascade Swimming. touching a time of 108. But a second half drop from this morning. She's followed up by Riley Catton, time of 111, and touching third is Isabel Short. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2, the women's 13-year-old A finals. Mr. Referee. In the water is Heat 2, the women's 13-year-old A final. In lane 0 is Quinn Dachuk. In lane 1 is Sian Q. In lane 2 is Elsa Anderson with Olympian swimming. In lane 3 is Bryn Brzezinski with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Sophie Hollowaychuk with Killarney. In lane 5 is Aislinn Burris with Strathcona. In lane 6 is Megan Perry with Killarney. In lane 7 is Diana Zvetmiklosi with Cascade. In lane 8 is Ruth Yeshkoviak with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 9 is Savory Kowal with Edmonton Keyano. Final 15 meters, looks like lane 4 is Sophie Hollowaychuk with Killarney. It is going to be Sophie Hollowaychuk touching first, followed by Aislinn Burris. And then touching third is Edmonton Keyano's Bryn Brkowski. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3, the women's 14-year-old A final. Mr. Referee. And the water is Heat 3, the women's 14-year-old A final. Lane 0 is Demi Wilson from University of Calgary. In lane 1 is Yuting Liang from University of Calgary. In lane 2 is Mael Bakawi from Edmonton Keyano. In lane 3 is Nicole LaRue from Killarney Swimming. In lane 4 is Elise Cook from Edmonton Keyano. In lane 5 is Lila Philpott from Red Deer Catalina. In lane 6 is Tanya Bakshi from University of Calgary. In lane 7 is Evelyn Washbrook from Killarney. In lane 8 is Marin Williamson from Edmonton Keyano. In lane 9 is Sophia Zhao from University of Calgary. With about 25 meters left, it looks like a tight race in lanes 4 and 5. That's Elise Cook and Lila Philpott. It's like Elise Cook is taking a lead in the final 10 meters. It is going to be Elise Cook in a time of 1:05.03. About an 0.8 of a second improvement from this morning. She's followed by Tanya Bakshi and then Lila Philpott. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 4. This is the women's 15-year-old A final. Mr. Referee. And the water is heat 4, your women's 15-year-old A final. In lane 0 is Sophia Hegmeyer Martinez with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 1, Gloria Jeffries, Strathcona. In lane 2, Stephanie Zhang with the University of Calgary. In lane 3, Katrina Gibbs with University of Calgary. In lane 4, Taylor Ginther. In lane 5, Julia Longmire with Ridge Meadows. In lane 6, Ellie Weiss with Cascade Swimming. In lane 7, Sarah Harbin with Parkland Pirates. In lane 8, Danica Beeler with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 9, Britton Talbot with Grand Prairie Piranhas. Looks like a tight race between 4, 5, and 6. And it's going to be lane 4 is Taylor Ginther, followed by Ellie Weiss, and touching third is Julia Longmuir. The results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 5. This is the women's 16 and over A final. Mr. Referee. In the waters, Heat 5, the women's 16 and over A final. In lane 0 is Kia Craig with University of Calgary. In lane 1 is Blakely McBride with Strathcona. In lane 2 is Rosie Houseman with University of Calgary. In lane 3 is Milena Kosick with University of Calgary. In lane 4 is Maria Kosick with University of Calgary. In lane 5 is Rowan Biffert with Alberta Marlins. In lane 6 is Jesse Carlson with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 7 is Abby Baller with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 8 is Jasmine Lawal with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 9 is Jenna McDougall with Cascade Swimming. Last 20 meters, got a tight race between lanes 4 and 5. It looks like it's going to be lane 4, Maria Kosick leading the pack. And it is going to be Maria Kosick followed by Rowan Bifford, and touching third is Abby Baller. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 6. This is the women's 16 and over B final. Mr. Referee. This is Heat 6, the women's 16 and over B final. In lane 0 is Maya Komakov from Cascade Swimming. In lane 1 is Cara Peterson with University of Calgary. In lane 2 is Lauren Meller with University of Calgary. In lane 3 is Sophia Meller with University of Calgary. In lane 4 is Sonia Bakshi with University of Calgary. In lane 5 is Shane Bowie with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 6 is Laura Witherick with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 7 is Catherine Lee with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 8 is Victoria Chen with University of Calgary. In lane 9 is Ava Thomas with Grand Prairie Piranhas. Final 15 meters, it looks like it's Sonia Bakshi leading the pack. And it's going to be Sonia Bakshi with University of Calgary, followed by Lauren Miller touching second, and touching third is Shane Bowie. Results on the board are official. Up next is event 208, the men's 100-meter butterfly. Heat 1, 12 and under men's A final. Madam Referee. And the water is Tao So in lane 0 with Olympians. In lane 1 is Jack Rudolph with Richmond Rapids. In lane 2 is Alvin Moe with the University of Calgary. In lane 3 is Zan Zhang with the University of Calgary. In lane 4 is Jackson Monson with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 5 is Benjamin Chen with with Ridge Meadows. In lane 6 is George Beese with Grand Cache Otter Swim Club. In lane 7 is Jackson Nickel with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 8 is Leo Wang with Olympian Swim Club. In lane 9 is Adrian Peng with Olympian Swim Club. Final 15 meters, it looks like it's Jackson Monson with Grand Prairie Piranhas leading the pack. He's followed closely by lane 3's Zan Zhang and lane 5's Benjamin Chen. But it is going to be lane 4, Jackson Monson with Grand Prairie Piranhas touching first. He's followed by Zan Zhang out of lane 3 and Benjamin Chen touching third. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 2. This is the men's 13-year-old A finals. Madam Referee. In the waters, Heat 2, the 13-year-old men's A final. In lane 0 is Ethan Dawson with Grand Prairie. In lane 1 is Cade Morgan with Killarney Swim Club. In lane 2 is Kieran Black with Cascade. In lane 3 is Lincoln and Jarvis with Ridge Meadows. In lane 4 is Maddox Woodruff with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 5 is Bennett Thiessen with Cascade Swimming. In lane 6 is Samuel Leyland with Olympian Swim Club. In lane 7 is Joshua Bode with Olympian Swim Club. And then lane 8 is Gage Anderson with Strathcona. We have 25 meters left to go. It looks like Maddox Woodruff is leading the pack from Grand Prairie. He's followed by lane 5's Bennett Thiessen with Cascade Swimming. Tight race for third and second and sixth. But it's going to be Maddox Woodruff touching first at a time of 103.89, followed by Bennett Thiessen, and then Kieran Black. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 3. This is the men's 14-year-old A finals. Madam Referee. In the waters, heat 3, your men's 14-year-old A final. In lane 0, it's Isaac Dong with Richmond Rapids. In lane 1, it's James Parsons with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 2, it's Oliver Zadrozny with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 3, it's Bruce Rubin with Parkland Pirates. In lane 4, it's Adrian Melish with Strathcona. In lane 5, it's Zachary Benuia with University of Calgary. In lane 6, it's J.J. Coop with Lethbridge. In lane 7, it's Max Ron with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 8, it's Ben Baller with Red Deer Catalina. And in lane 9, it's Matthew Dobson. With about 10 meters to go, it's lane 5's Zachary Vinua leading the pack. And it is going to be Zachary Vinua touching first with University of Calgary in a time of 1:02.3, followed by Adrian Melish, and then touching third is Ben Baller. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 4. This is the men's 15-year-old A finals. Madam referee. In the water is Heat 4, the 15-year-old A finals. In lane 0 is Jaden Tembrink with Strathcona. In lane 1 is Omar Bushia with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 2 is Maximilian Schmorschkock with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 3 is Dennis Gutnu with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 4 is Luca Zahar with University of Calgary. In lane 5 is Miguel Lorenzo with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Kane McWilliams with Alberta Marlins. In lane 7 is Yikai Yang with University of Calgary. In lane 8 is Francisek Jasinski with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 9 is Sean Kim with University of Calgary. Coming to the wall, it's lane 4 and 5. Teammates from University of Calgary touching first. It's going to be Luca Zahar, followed by Miguel Lorenzo. Touching third is Dennis Gutnu. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 5, the men's 16 and over A final. Madam referee. In the waters, Heat 5, the 16 and over A final. In lane 0 is Joe Dong, University of Calgary. In lane 1 is Charlie Trofimuk with Killarney Swim Club. In lane 2 is Ricardo Parra Hernandez with Cascade Swimming. In lane 3 is Kyler McNeil with Cascade Swimming. In lane 4 is Jack Cahill with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 5 is Aiden Norman with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Parker Deshay with Cascade Swimming. In lane 7 is Nick Bennett with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 8, it's Maddox Oliver with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 9 is Spencer McFarlane with University of Calgary. Final 15 meters, it's lane 4 and 5 fighting for first. Looks like it's going to be Jack Hayho touching first with Edmonton Keyano, followed by Aiden Norman, and touching third is Parker Deshay. Results on the board are official. Up next is Heat 6. This is the men's 16 and over B final. Madam Referee. This is Heat 6, the men's 16 and over B final. Lane 0 is Ryan Zong with Cascade Swimming. In lane 1 is Benjamin Weir with Cascade Swimming. In lane 2 is Henrico Jordan with Grand Prairie Piranhas. In lane 3 is Aiden Geoffrey with Olympian Swim Club. In lane 4 is Park Sweeto with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 5 is Daniel Zhang with University of Calgary. In lane 6 is Rain Chung with Olympian Swim Club. In lane 7 is Bevan Bagshaw with Edmonton Keyano. In lane 8 is Logan Millman with Red Deer Catalina. In lane 9 is Graham Pardo with Edmonton Keyano. Final 15 meters, it looks like it's lane 2. Henrico Jordan leading the pack. And it's going to be Henrico Jordan out of lane 2 with Grand Prairie Piranhas touching first, followed by Aiden Geoffrey. And then touching third is Daniel Zhang. The results on the board are official. Up next is event 208P. This is the men's 16 and over 100 meter butterfly multi-class. Madam Referee. In lane 4 with Edmonton Keyano is Reed Maxwell. In lane 5 is Hunter Helberg with Fort McMurray Swim Club. Attention coaches, scratches for tomorrow's prelims are due within 5 minutes of the conclusion of tonight's relays. Coaches, get your scratches in for tomorrow's relays as soon as possible. About 10 meters left to go. Looks like it's Hunter Helberg coming in first, followed by Reed Maxwell touching second. The times on the board were official. The final standings will be determined by para points. Up next is event 209. This is the women's 13 and under 200 meter medley relay. Mr. Referee. This is heat 1 of 2, Mr. Referee. All right, about halfway through this medley relay, it looks like it's University of Calgary A team leading the pack. We got a tight race here at the end. Oh, it's going to be lane 4. Lethbridge Swimming touching first, followed by lane 2, University of Calgary. Or correction, lane 3. Up next is heat 2 of 2, Mr. Referee. All right, halfway through this medley relay, looks like it's lane 5, Olympians, followed by lane 6, Keyano team. All right, tight race here. Last few meters, a surge from lane 3. And it is going to be lane 3, and that's Richmond Rapids touching first. Followed by lane 5, that's Olympian Swim Club. And then touching third is Edmonton Keyano C team out of lane 6. Up next is event 210, the women's 14 to 15 200-meter medley relay, heat 1 of 2. Mrs. Referee. All right, halfway marks a tight race with lanes 4 and 5 leading the pack, but a lot still in chase. Attention coaches, we have disqualification to announce. Event 209, Heat 2, Lane 7. Event 209, Heat 2, Lane 7. All right, about 20 meters ago, looks like University of Calgary A team. And it's going to be University of Calgary A team, followed by Cascade A team, followed by Keyano A team. Up next is Heat 2 of 2. Mr. Referee. All right, halfway through this medley, it looks like it's University of Calgary leading the pack, followed by Olympian Swim Club and then Edmonton Keyano. And it is going to be University of Calgary to touch first, followed by Olympian Swim Club, and then Edmonton Keyano. Up next is event 211, the girls 16 and over 2-meter medley relay, heat 1 of 2. Mr. Referee. All right, halfway through, it's Cascade leading, followed by University of Calgary. It's going to be University of Calgary, followed by Cascade Swimming. Up next is heat 2 of 2, Mr. Referee. All right, halfway through this medley relay, Triton's leading the field, followed by Red Deer Catalina, then Edmonton Keyano. And it is going to be trying to touch first, followed by Red Deer Catalina, and then Edmonton Keyano. Up next is event 212, the men's 13 and under 200 meter medley relay, heat 1 of 1. Madam Referee. right, leading the pack in the middle pool, looks like Olympian Swim Club, followed by Cascade, and then Edmonton Keyano. All right, coming to the wall, it's going to be Cascade touching first. Looks like a tight race for third, but it's going to be Olympians followed by Edmonton Keyano. Up next is Heat 2 of 2. Correction, up next is event 213, the men's 14-15 and 200 meter medley relay, Heat 1 of 2. Madam Referee. And it's going to be Strathcona touching first at the halfway mark. Followed by Olympian Swim Club. Touching third is University of Calgary Swim Club. Touching first is lane 6, that's Cascade, followed by lane 4, University of Calgary, and then touching third is lane 5, Edmonton Keyano. Up next is Heat 2 of 2, Madam Referee. All right, halfway through this medley relay, it looks like it's a tight fight between Edmonton Keyano in Triton swimming, and then Edmonton Keyano touching third. All right, final stretch. It looks like Edmonton Keyano in lane 4 and 5 are going to touch first and second. Followed by Tritons in lane 3. Up next is event 214, the men's 16 and over 200 meter medley relay. This is heat 1 of 2. Madam Referee. It's like a tight race between University of Calgary and Cascade Swimming. Last 25 meters, it looks like University of Calgary out of lane 3 is leading the pack. Followed by Cascade in lane 4 and Red Deer Catalina in lane 5. It is going to be University of Calgary, followed by Cascade, followed by Red Deer Catalina. Up next is heat 2 of 2. Madam Referee. at the halfway mark. It looks like it's Keyano for 1 and 2, followed by Red Deer Catalina. Attention coaches, we have disqualification to announce. It's event 213, heat 1, lane 2. Event 213, heat 1, lane 2. Reminder all coaches, scratches for tomorrow's prelims are due in about 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Get your scratches in for tomorrow. Touching first is Edmonton Keyano, followed by Red Deer Catalina, and then Edmonton Keyano. Coaches, your scratches are due in 4 minutes and 37 seconds. That concludes the racing for night 2 of finals at Edmonton Keyano International. We'll see everyone back tomorrow for prelims.